Hello friends, and welcome to episode 100 of the CamijoKnit Podcast. Episode 100. Can you believe that? I can hardly believe it. It has been 5 years for me here on YouTube, and except that I did 100 regular episodes, I have also done Vlogmas, I think 4 times, and I don't know how many vlogs from my travels and just everyday life here in Denmark. And if you forgot exactly how that has been looking for the last 5 years, take a look at this. Hello, and welcome to the CamijoKnit Podcast here on YouTube. Today it is Saturday, May 1st. I have a few finished objects actually today. So I just made myself a coffee. We had a lovely day in Paris today. Okay, so we have all the summer sockbox skeins. I have just packed my first wholesale order. Today I am celebrating 2 years of podcasting here on YouTube. Good morning. I don't know what day it is. It's one of my dream jobs to actually be a yarn dyer, and I know that's a dream that'll never actually happen because I don't have time to do. Hello friends, and welcome to the dye studio. This is episode number 23. Welcome to episode number 33. Episode number 66 to episode 81.
Good morning. Welcome to France.
Hello friends, and welcome to Edinburgh. A dream of mine is coming true. Just a few seconds. Tine from Socialde will come pick me up. Cheers, Tine. Cheers. Vlogmas is just around the corner. Hello and welcome to the first episode of this year's Vlogmas. We are getting ready for knit night. Good, let's open evidence. I have had so much fun going through all these old episodes and just watching how I sounded when I just started out and how nervous I would be and how long it actually took me to just find my authentic self when I was recording. It's just so fun to watch, and also just my look throughout the years, and just a lot of things happens during a 5-year period. So it has just been so much fun going through all these old videos and choosing what to share and what not to share, and if I should only try to show the prettiest side I could find, which was totally impossible because I just needed to show also the fun sides. So yeah, it's been so much fun, and I hope that you enjoyed watching some of these old clips as well. Maybe you remember some of them. This episode, I have my plan is to share with you my 5 favorite designs. That has been a question. Could you please go over the 5 designs of my own that I'm maybe the most proud of, or at least the ones I love the best? It's a mix. Some of them are also my most popular patterns on Ravelry, and some of just my own personal favorites for different reasons. I will tell you why. And then also someone asked me my favorite colors that I dyed, and I said, okay, let's pick out 5, and I did such a terrible job because I couldn't stop. I have so many favorites, but I will see if I can make a top 5 with these colors, and actually see if I can make a number 1. I'm not sure if I will be able to do that. I think first I will show you my my last finished object. I just recently finished my Joe sweater, my DGO sweater. and I did that in 2 strands of silk mohair, and I really loved the result. Let me put that on and share my thoughts with you, and then we will dive right into this episode. I have a great, amazing giveaway at the end of the episode, and also a fun idea that I had, or actually some of you had, a collaboration of some sort. I will tell you more about that later. First, let's watch the DJO. So this is the favorite sweater. I love the fit. I love that it's not too oversized. I was really concerned about the huge sleeves and the oversized fit. I actually chose a size large, and I knitted exactly, but I also know that every time I knit color work, my gauge just gets smaller. I did this on a 4mm needle, which is a US 6, right? And I have used a mix of my own hand-dyed yarn and some confessional yarns, do you call it that? Mainly from Filcolana, Mohair by Canar. I think that's the 2 only other brands I have used for the sweater. The main color is my own colorway marzipan. I have some of my own coral. I have some of my own hand-dyed. I think it was a color I did one Christmas called With a Cherry on Top. And the dark green could have been my Hunter, but it is actually a dark green from Tilia. The light blue is a blue from Tilia. The purple is something purple from Tilia. The green is also a Tilia, and this dark one up here is my own elephant. So it's marzipan, elephant, and coral in the beginning. It's warm, so I will take it off and put my shirt back on. But I just wanted to share the finished sweater. I feel like I did a little piece of art, even though it's not even my own design. I just think it's so much fun what you can do with little leftovers, and you can even play with all these squares and circles and triangles and what have you on the pattern. I think it's a really easy pattern to do, so it's a great way to just play around with colors. And if you don't have more in the blue when you come to this and it says you have to work with the blue, just pick another one. It really doesn't matter. Who knows what the colors were supposed to be like? I just took whatever I wanted. Here you're supposed to keep knitting with I think the brown or the coral, I don't remember. I think the brown. You're supposed to continue with that. I didn't feel like that. I even switched halfway. Because I thought it was a little bit hard to tell the difference between the colors here. Not when you look at it, when it's complete, but while you knit, it was a little bit difficult. So I just added another one that was a little bit darker. And I am in love with it. I'll take it off and chat to you a little bit about my favorite design. The first design I ever made was the diamond sweater that I didn't even bring with me, but I can put a picture of it here. I got the idea for this design, and it was the first real design that I ever made, which is crazy because it was really a complicated design to do the math on and the construction on. And my friend Mette, who owns the local yarn store here, and she's such a talented knitter, she helped me how to do the construction of the pattern and everything. And I published it, and I didn't have anyone to edit any of my stuff, so I would just publish it. Not knowing the appropriate way to do stuff like that. It was never test knit or anything. I just published it. And then I realized there were things I had to change. It was too wide on the shoulders, and I had to redo some parts, and then eventually it turned out right, and the pattern that is now online is working. But rookie mistake, I didn't know anything. And after I did that first design, it was like a door. I have talked about this before in earlier episodes. It was like a door open for me, and I just couldn't get enough of designing. Ideas just popped into my head. I will start with, I made a list of my 5 favorite designs, and number 5 will have to be my Banyol sweater, which I actually designed, not in this yarn, but in my Donegal tweed yarn along with a silk mohair. I put a picture of me wearing it here. So you can tell the difference, how much of a difference it does when you change your yarns. So like a tweed yarn will give it a totally different look. And then when I knit it in just a strand of my own Camijo sock yak in the colorway Pink Lemonade, which is this colorway, along with an undyed silk mohair, you get this result. And the reason why I love this sweater is because I just love that you have this plain pattern and the yarn will be the focus. So play around with your hand-dyed yarn, your perfect, beautiful speckled version of yarn, and add a silk mohair and let the color be the star of the attraction, so to speak. I love to do very advanced sweater patterns as well. Not that I designed them myself, but just like the DJO sweater, I love that. But for that, it's more the design of the sweater that is the star. So I love to have something very simple. I love that I have this raglan here, which has this lifted stitch to make this tiny detail on the sweater. I really love that. And on top, I just love this sweater. Yeah, I'm gonna do another one soon. The first Banyol I did a few years back. I designed that when I was in France. That is why it's called the Banyol, because we lived in a little city called Bagnols-en-Forêt. And it's just a great memory for me to have that I designed that sweater while I was on summer holiday. And I really loved that, or vacation. Yeah, and the first one I knit is too large for me now. I have lost some weight over the years, and it's too big for me now. And this one is just on the tiny side. I was being a little bit too optimistic when I knit this one. It actually fits me wide-wise, but it's a little short. And it's great that I wear now so much high-waisted jeans. So for some of my outfits, it's cute. And it just gives me actually the perfect excuse to knit myself another one. And I have a plan to do so in my merino cash blend, which is also the one, the base that I'm using for this year's advent calendar. But I'll do it in my buttercup colorway. I think that's my idea right now. But anyway, so this is pattern number 5 on Camijo Knit's favorite Camijo Knit designs. Okay, so that was number 5. Number 4 is my spring diamond sweater. This is design number 4. So it is my 4th most valued knitting pattern that I have done. It is my oldest daughter Nome who's modeling this on my website. She has this in a lighter pink version in a yarn that I did not dye myself because I designed that sweater before I started to dye yarn, which has been a thing. Now I have finally had it knit up for me in the coral colorway, and I just love this design. I think it's feminine, it's light, it's cute, it's good all year around. I think in the summertime it's just very sweet with a nice long skirt. I love to have like very long maxi skirts in the summer and a little white t-shirt, and then in the evening you can put this on and you'll still be warm but still very summery and comfy. So this is why I chose this to put this on my top 5. It also exists as a vest without the sleeve, self-explanatory. And it's also very close to the diamond sweater that was my first design. It's the same diamonds. So I have reused this diamond shape for many of my patterns and also for one you will see later on. But this was my spring diamond sweater. So number 4 on CamijoKnit's own favorite lists of designs. I don't know if you guys feel like a color theme already. Okay, let's go and move on to number 3 on the list. And it is my yellow lichen on rocks shawl. I designed this when Lina had a submission call for patterns for their book. Is it 50 shawls or 51 shawls? I forgot the name. Anyway, they were looking for shawl patterns for that book, and this was my submission. I was not elected, and I was so sad that I wasn't chosen for the book. But it's so funny because when I looked through the book, I could tell why, because there were already 2 shawls that had the same idea as I did. So I guess that is why. There were already 2 patterns in there that looked good. But anyway, this is yellow lichen on rocks. It is called that because it's inspired by the colorways. Once we were sailing in Sweden and there were like lichen on some of the huge rocks in the ocean. We were sailing there and we would climb on the rocks and jump in the water. And so it was like gray stones, yellow lichen, and then the blue ocean. So it was, I felt kind of brave when I did this pattern because the yarn goes from gray to gray with orange speckles to yellow, and then I added the blue mohair, which is also, I think, one of the reasons why it looks so great in the colorways, because it's a bold choice to do yellow and blue together, and it doesn't turn out green, but it just turns out cool. And I have originally, this is knit in yarn from Le Bien-Aimé. It's 3 of her BFL sock bases. That is like the base, and then the silk mohair on top is a silk mohair from a Danish company that is called, I forgot the name of them. I'll put it in the show notes. But I have kits for this in the shop. So you can pick your own colors, and I think I have done 3 of these shawls already. It's just fun to pick out like a fade, 3 colors as a fade, and then do a silk mohair on top of those colors that are not necessarily the same colorway. Gray, yellow, and blue is not, yellow and blue are each other's contrasting color. So picking a contrasting mohair is brave and a little bit, it feels crazy to do that, but it sometimes the bold color choice is just what you need to get your knit interesting and fun and beautiful. Number 3 on CamijoKnit's favorite knitting design top 5. And we finally have some blue in here. And I'll grab something cold to drink. I hope you have something cold to drink as well. Or warm if you're not already in a warm location. What do you think number 2 is? Or number 1? Do you have an idea? This, actually, I think my yellow lichen on rocks is my most sold pattern on, at least on Ravelry. This is number 2. This is my baby bubble cardigan, and it's just a classic, I think, and I think that's why it still sells a lot. And when I go to events and I have this hanging in my booth, and people that hasn't seen it before usually just falls in love with it. I think there are more than one reason. One, baby knit is just always so cute. That's one thing. The other thing is that I knit this in a single merino glitter, so it has a little touch of glitter in it, and that just attracts our eye. At least it's funny when I go on events and people say, oh, the yarn has glitter in it. I'm usually not into glitter, but this is really cute. I think there's just something about that glitter in yarn that attracts us, even though we don't think it will. This is an old design. I don't even remember when I designed this baby bubble cardigan. It is at least 4 years ago. This one is knit in my single ply merino. Number 2 on the CamijoKnit top 5 list of CamijoKnit's own favorite patterns. Number 1. We are ready for number 1. And the reason why this is number 1 is because I'm equally proud of the design idea and the result. So this is piece of knitwear that I have used. I think it's the piece that I've used the most ever, and also the one that I'm the most proud of. It is, if you are a regular here on the episode, I bet you have heard this story 1,000 times, so I'll just briefly tell you that the idea came to me when I was in the Royal Ballet, watching a ballet called the Giselle with Mette, my friend who has the local yarn store. And we were sitting there watching the ballet, and I was just so inspired by that layered dresses that the ballerinas were wearing, and it was light pink, and then the rest of the outfit was gray, so it went kind of from gray to a pinkish lavender, and I just loved that layered look. And I said to me, I must be able to kind of do that somehow in a knitting pattern, in a shawl or something. And she was like, shh, be quiet. We're watching a ballet. You have to be quiet. And I'm like, but I couldn't get this idea out of my head. And I kept interrupting and talking to her, and she was laughing at me. And then I went home and I thought I have to do like a layered piece somehow. So I thought of doing just a basic background and then have a layered top in this light silk mohair that would almost look like that ballerina dress. So this is what happened. I did the Giselle shawl. I remember even sending it to the grocery girls and having them advertise it on their Instagram. And that was one of the first times I just kind of contacted celebrity knitters to help me promote something. And they would share this just in an Instagram story, and I just thought it was crazy. That's another thing that is fun about this knitting world, that we can all get starstruck when we meet someone in this industry. And it's funny because when I explain it to people that are not knitting, I said, oh, I met this hand dyer in Barcelona, and they're like, so? But no, it was La Bien-Aimée. It's like, seriously, it was her. People just don't understand when they're not knitting that inside our community, we have our own celebrities as well. And I have tried it a few times, and it's not to make myself any knitting celebrity at all. My follower account is not crazy like that in any way. But I have had a few times someone's recognizing me somewhere. The first time in Barcelona, when someone she was so excited. Oh, you're CamijoKnit! Can I have a picture? And I just thought that was the funniest thing ever, and so cute. And I was walking in Barcelona with some of my podcasting friends from around the world, and one of them being Selma from Little Big Knits. Compared to her, I was nothing. She was like the biggest star in Barcelona. It was just hilarious and so fun. But anyway, that was a side note. This is my Giselle shawl. This originally knit in silk mohair from Long Yarns, and it is knit in the dark one is Hermanos del Uruguay in the colorway Morning, like morning, not morning, but morning. And I have kits available in my own yarn, of course, different colorways. So this is my number 1. I am the most proud of this design. I'm even so proud of it that I made the Giselle hat, which has the same 2-layered thing. And the Giselle shawl is the same as it is on the diamond sweater. So this diamond lace pattern is actually both in the Giselle shawl, the Giselle hat, the diamond sweater, the spring diamond sweater, the spring diamond vest, and my mega diamond sweater. So as a designer, when you get a great idea, you just use that idea 100 million times to get the most out of it. And this is actually also my favorite hat that I have used my Alpaca Deluxe yarn for the inside of the hat and my Silky Kid Mohair from on the outside. And this is the colorway Elephant, and this is the colorway Scallop Shell. So that was CamijoKnit's own top 5 of favorite knitting patterns that I have created throughout the years. So before we go over my 5 favorite colorways that I ever dyed, let's take a look at what else is going on my needles, because I am working on some other projects. I have 3 projects that I am working on. One of them I can show you really quick because it's the most boring one of them all. This is my progress on the socks that I'm knitting for Lars. He just had his 50th birthday, and I did buy him something else as well. But I am also working on a pair of socks for him because he loves my home knitted socks, especially the chunky ones. So this is in my DK Weights Merino Cash luxury socks, 10% nylon, 10% cashmere, and the rest is superwash merino. And I was supposed to have these done before he came home, and he's arriving tomorrow afternoon. And this is sock number 1. There's no way that I'm going to be done with sock number 2, but that doesn't matter. My other project that I'm working on is something I think is really fun, but it's also just a sock, so don't get too excited. But for some time I have had this idea to knit a pair of socks using 1 strand of normal fingering weight sock yarn and 1 skein or 1 thread, 1 strand of silk mohair. And I saw on Instagram this knitter, and she had done with silk mohair a pair of socks with white ribbing and then a soft yellow sock, and then contrasting like white white ribbing, white heel, and white toe, and then this buttery yellow on the sock itself. It was so cute, and I thought, I want to do that too. But then I thought, well, maybe I should do a stripy version. And I was looking at all my minis, because I have so many minis, and to see if I could find like the perfect match of 5 yellow ones. And then I looked through my stash, and I have this self-striping yarn that I bought at Fanø, which is the one very small cute island here in Denmark where they have knitting festivals, and actually the place where I went to my first knitting festival ever. Anyway, last year I bought this self-striping sock from Lone, the lonely sock lady. She does self-striping yarn. I think she's the only Danish hand dyer that does self-striping yarn. She's a big hit here in Denmark. All the knitters love her self-striping yarn, me included. I think this is my pair number 3 or 4. Anyway, usually, of course, I'll knit my own yarn. It's smarter and cheaper. But I just couldn't help myself. I fell in love with this colorway, and Lone calls it popcorn. Perfect. And this is what it looks like when you add a strand of white silk mohair. How cute is this? I could die, literally. I think it is just adorable. What a cute sock this is going to be. I am just knitting, and I'm weighing this every now and then. I only had 50 grams of this popcorn colorway, so I'm just knitting until I have used 25 grams, and then I will cut the yarn, and I'll continue with the white base and do the toe, and then I'll do the white heel. And that is just a perfect way to use up an entire skein of yarn for socks. If you don't have that much left, just weigh it, use half. I think I have like a stripe per gram approximately. So with 25 grams available, I can do 25 stripes. So that is what I'm doing when I'm not doing anything else that I should be working on. It's just a fun project to have in my bag. I have this bag that is one of my favorite bags. It is from Sandy by the Lakeside. I have 2 of those. I'm addicted to Sandy's stuff. And the other project I can share with you is this new design that I'm working on called the Tea Rose sweater. If you're curious why, watch my episode 99. But yeah, it looks like this so far. I wanted to add some minis to a knitting pattern, just to have some fun stripes. So this is my colorway pistachio, buttercup, elephant, and coral. And I'm knitting this in my single ply merino base, which I call single 366. And one strand of my suri alpaca silk, which is just a great substitute for the silk mohair. It's softer. It gives it another texture and another look, a little bit more, I wouldn't say dull, because it's not dull, but it's not as shiny as when you do silk mohair. I love both, and I just love to do something different. So that is all I have on my needles. So the rest of this episode will be my 5 favorite colors, or maybe 7, who knows. And then a little bit about the fun thing that I have up my sleeve. Oh, by the way, I went to my mom and dad's yesterday. My mom is, I've not shared too much about that, but I'm not sure I want to either. But my mom is not well. And I was there yesterday and going through her stuff and her clothes, and I was helping her kind of, sort out her closet and keep the stuff she wants to keep. And the same with her jewelry. She doesn't wear too much jewelry anymore, so I just wanted to make it easy for her to pick out some pieces, and then all the stuff that she doesn't use anymore, put those away. And I found this beautiful silver bracelet that my dad gifted her at some point, and she doesn't want to wear it anymore. And I said, I'll take that and I'll wear that for you. And of course, cleared that with my dad. And so I took this home, and I feel like it's the perfect thing, because on my other wrist, I have these 2 bracelets that my girls gave to me for Mother's Day. This one says mor, which is the Danish word for mom. And they gave me this golden bracelet as well. So this was my Mother's Day present. They even put a little note inside of it. It's so cute, it made me cry. So I have the girls on one arm and my mom on the other arm. And also this shirt, she didn't want to wear this shirt anymore. And I said, well, Mom, I think it's really cute. So I'll just take that and I will wear that shirt. Anyway, before I share my 5 top favorite colors, one of you wrote in a comment in the latest episode that it could be fun to do a colorway, and that is a good idea. So one competition that we're starting today is, let's do an episode 100 colorway. And the how we're going to do this is you send me only in email. Do not send me a picture on Instagram. Those messages drown. If we are not already friends on Instagram, I never receive your message. So if you want to get in touch with me, please always send me an email, because I don't want to be rude, but I just don't get them. I have to go in and check for messages that from people that I am not friends with, and I just don't do that regularly. And then I have to go accept, and then I can read, and it's just a mess. So please, if you want to get in contact with me, send me an email, or comment on a picture on Instagram. Those comments I see, but I don't get those, what do you call that? Personal messages on Instagram. I don't get those. So email me. Email me a picture of something that you think would just be the perfect color for me to dye for an anniversary skein. And the podcast will be 5 years old next week or the week after. On the 27th, I think, of May is this podcast's birthday. So we can start it now, and we can either call it 5-year anniversary yarn or the episode 100 yarn, whatever. But you send me a picture, I dye some yarn, not a sock set. I'm done with the sock set for this year. But I will dye it as a color on different bases. And that will be our anniversary colorway. Something that you just think will be so much fun to see in a colorway. Send me a picture and let's see if I can turn that into a color. That was an easier way to say it. And if I pick your color, I will send you a skein of yarn. Good. Let's go for the 5 favorite colorways. Also, by the way, I just launched pre-order for sock sets for Father's Day. So if you want to knit your dad or your husband a pair of socks in a more daddy-friendly colorway, you can pre-order those, and you can just show them the yarn and tell him you'll knit him a pair of socks whenever. It doesn't have to be ready for him on Father's Day. Okay, I have a basket here of yarn, and I'm not sure I know which one I have. I didn't rate them yet. Maybe I should do that now. Maybe this is number 1, number 2, number 3. Maybe that wasn't as difficult as I thought. I actually have 8 colors. Tell a yarn dyer to choose between her children. It's not fair, you guys. 5 colors, I have 8. Okay. Somewhat randomly, I will say color number 8 is honey plum, which is a color I had actually forgotten that I had dyed, and then Danish knitter and podcaster Maya from, she's also known as Tractor Lady. She was knitting with this, and I was like, what is that color? I think I dyed that yarn. What is that? Turns out that it was a Halloween color I did years back that I forgot about, but luckily I still had the notes. I redid it. Honey plum is number 8 on my top 5 list. Those are the 3 runner-ups for the top 5. Okay, so the 3 runner-ups are honey plum, crocus, which is of course named after the crocus here in the spring, purpley orangey colors, lightly speckled on a white base. This merino cash base that I'm going to do my bagnole sweater in at some point. And the 3rd runner-up will be, I think it will be pistachio. Let's say that's the 3 runner-ups. Honey plum, crocus, and pistachio. Okay, number 5 is pink lemonade. This is in my Camijo Yak base. I did my bagnole in this colorway. Number 4, coquinas, which is also the colorway I did the baby bubble cardigan in. It is named after these tiny seashells that you find on the beach called coquinas. I have no clue how to pronounce that. Number 4. Number 3, dark aubergine. This is on my Messiah base, which is a luxury base of yak, merino, and silk. I love this base. It's a single ply. It's 120 grams. It's insanely soft. And whenever I bring this to the knitting events, it is gone. So you guys like it just as much as I do. It's number 2 and number 1, and I love them equally. Let's say that this is number 2, coral, which is the colorway I did my that I just showed you. My spring diamond sweater was in this colorway, coral. Number 1, Tennessee warbler, and this is a tribute to Tennessee. And also, if I had not been an exchange student back in the days, I would not have ever been comfortable enough to do a podcast episode in English. So it's crazy how choices you make when you're so young can impact you for the rest of your life. If I had not chosen to go on exchange in 1993 or 4 and be comfortable enough speaking English, I would not have been here. And I would have probably still been dyeing yarn and knitting, I suppose, but I would not have had this community throughout not only Denmark, but the world. I feel like I'm sharing my most beloved hobby with so many people around the globe. And that's one part, meeting people in real life. When I go to knitting events and I meet people, I meet my colleagues, the other hand dyers here in Denmark. We are friends behind the scene, and I meet so many great people. I also sometimes meet some really not very friendly people. So knitters are friendly, but they're not all friendly. Like in any other community, you always have some people, That's the way it is. I mostly meet nice people, so I'm mostly just happy in this knitting community. One more thing. The episode 100 giveaway will be, hold your horses, people. I will do my episode 100 giveaway. It's my advent calendar of this year, which is still open for pre-order. The theme of this year's advent is Little Women, the movie from 2019. The scenes, the scenery, the dresses, the people, the colors, the light, everything from that movie inspires me to dye this year. I have started already. I dyed the first 5 colors and it is looking good. So very excited about that. To be able to win my advent calendar, and if you already ordered it, you just give this one to someone, So how to win my advent? Comment down below. What has been your favorite episode on the CamijoKnit podcast, or favorite moment, or something I did or talked about or traveled or whatever? What has been your favorite CamijoKnit YouTube experience so far? I would love to know that. Also, you need to be a subscriber of the channel and you need to like this episode. That is 3 things you have to do in order to be able to win this year's advent calendar. Okay, clear? Good. That's all you have to do. And I think I will wrap this up for now, guys. Let me just check if I have remembered everything. Someone asked me about my most valued knitting experience. And I'll just say, back in the days, knitting festivals and big knitting events were rare. You could go to the big knitting festival at Fanø every other year. And so we had to wait 2 years before we could go again. And I would go there with knitting friends. And I remember going there for the first time, just thinking, all this yarn and all these patterns and such a short life. My knitting list will never be done. I will always be adding more faster than I can knit. So I was hit with equally excitement and sadness that I would never have enough time to do all the things that I wanted to do. So I would definitely say that my biggest knitting experiences ever has been every time when I went to Fanø to be a part of the knitting event and meeting people and seeing the hand-dyed yarn and knitting, and I just loved that. Today it's a little different because there's so many yarn events and we see the same people and the same yarn and the same stuff many times throughout the year, and I think it's bad for everyone. Businesses, at least I can tell that it's better if we have fewer festivals and a lot more people to attend them. I think, my personal opinion. What is your opinion about all the knitting events? Do you go every time? Does it feel that all the yarn is more available and then you don't buy it when you finally see it? Or I would like to have your thoughts on that. That's one thing that I would like your thoughts on. I would like you to participate in the Advent giveaway and also send me a picture on my email. I will link the email address down below. If you want me to pick your picture for the anniversary colorway for this 5-year anniversary and 100 episode anniversary. Thank you for watching this episode. Thank you for watching 100 episodes if you have been watching since the beginning. Thank you for watching Vlogmas. Thank you for watching all the vlogs. Thank you for being here. And just thank you for being here, guys. I appreciate that so much. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. And I will see you for episode 101 before you know it. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I'll see you next time.